Hello, Earth Scientists. We're going to take a little walk through your Unit 1, Week 3 overview, just so you can kind of see what's going on this week. So we're specifically looking at rotation, tilt, revolution, tides, and seasons. So the things that are results from the different motions of the Earth. So we know that rotation is the spinning of the Earth on its axial tilt. So one rotation of the Earth is 24 hours. The tilt of the Earth is just the fact that it is at a bit of an angle, and the angle is about 23.5 degrees. Now, that does vary over about 40,000 years from about 22.1 degrees to 24.5 degrees. So there's a little bit of variation in that tilt, and you can see the axial tilt for the different planets here as well. Tides, so when we're talking about high tide and low tide, the low tide line on the beach would be this area, this mark here, and then high tide would be up here. So it's the fluctuation, kind of the rise and fall of Earth's water. And that is going to be dependent on the pull of the moon primarily on the Earth. So there's two different classifications for tides. We have neap tides, and neap tides are going to be at 90-degree angles. So you've got moon, Earth, and sun. So when that forms a right angle, when you've got a 90-degree angle, then that's when you have a neap tide. And you can remember that because N for neap and N for 90. So hopefully that'll help you to remember that. And then when you have a spring tide, it's when it's all lined up in a row. So you have a straight line between Earth, moon, and sun, sun, Earth, and moon. So no matter which location, which orientation, that still forms a spring tide. And when you have the neap tides, you're going to have the water basically on Earth being pulled in two different directions. So there's a bit more of a difference there because you've got kind of the water being pulled in two different directions. So your high tide and low tide isn't going to be quite as significant difference as you would have a spring tide, because when you have a spring tide, you're going to have everything kind of lined up in a row. So you're having a big pull on it in one direction and then nothing pulling on it really in the other directions. So you're going to have a bigger difference in low versus high tide during the spring tides. And then eclipse. So when you have an eclipse, then you've got one body basically that passes in front of another. So you have here the sun and then the moon passing in front of it. So during eclipses, you will also have pretty big differences in the tides as well. So the Earth has love handles. Because the Earth spins around, because it's rotating, it has a bulge around the middle. So it's kind of like if you and your friends got on a carousel or one of those things, those round things on playground where everybody try to hold on, you spin it around really fast. The people on the edges have a harder time trying to hold on and they get flung off versus the people that are right here around the center because they can hold on really well. They're around that central spinning location. So that's basically the same thing with the Earth too, right? So we have, water, and that water is going to be it has lower viscosity. It's going to be sloshing around a little bit more. So it is able to move around a little more. And also the water that's at the poles is generally going to be frozen, right? So there's actually about 27 extra miles of height at the equator. So around the equatorial region, you have love handles for the Earth. So we're looking kind of at the differences in the seasons and with the tides as well. So this has a little bit of information to help you understand better what happens with the tides and rotation of the Earth. So we know that the rotation, the spinning of the Earth, one rotation, one turning around of the Earth gives you 24 hours. So that gives you day. So you have about 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of darkness. So the seasons are generated by that tilt and the rotation of the Earth. So because the Earth is tilted, that allows for us to have our seasons. So if the Earth wasn't tilted, then we would not have our seasons. So when it is summer in the northern hemisphere, then it's going to be winter in the southern hemisphere. So it's kind of weird to think about like during summertime, like August, for us in North Carolina, Antarctica is going to be having, it's winter, so it's whiteout season, and then it's the reverse. So when it's winter for us, it's summer down in Antarctica. So the scientists that do research down there are pretty happy because they can go outside and not in whiteout conditions. So this is just another illustration showing you about the tides. So you can see neap tide, 90-degree angle, and then spring tide, all in a straight row. So the tides are going to be a result of the gravitational pull of the moon and the sun on that fluid, the water on the earth. So you're going to have the greatest tides during eclipse when you have the straight line, when you've got this spring tide alignment of moon, earth, sun, or earth, moon, sun. And here's a little video for you to watch to learn more about eclipses from Bill Nye. This lab is a digital lab to look at some information about tides, and then you have your lab sheet down here that you can fill in, and make sure that you submit that and give me access to that, share that as a document that I can actually edit and view. And then this is the last learning piece. So this will help you to explore the seasons a little bit better. And you just click on this PBS link right here, and this kind of walks you through the process of exploring the seasons. And if you can't access this on a Chromebook, you may have to try at home because it's one of those like flash things. So you may not be able to pull it up on a Chromebook. So that may be something that you need to do at home. So just kind of check that out and see which way you're able to work on that. And then you can watch this video to learn some more. So just remember that when you do your online notebook, that is for any notes that you need to record to help you understand and learn things better. And then I just have some things in there that are the key points that I want to make sure that you guys understand. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.